So I love roasting just about anything. And today, we're gonna roast some grapes. And we're gonna roast some fennel. Let's start with the toasted walnut mixture. Grab about 100 grams or 1 cup of chopped walnuts, and then grab some fresh rosemary sprigs and finally chop up about 2 tablespoons worth. It's so satisfying when the sprigs just slide right off. In a pan on medium heat, add 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter, then add the walnuts and the rosemary, season with salt and freshly cracked pepper, and then nicely toast the walnuts, mixing and tossing until they're nice and golden brown. This mixture on its own is so good, so try not to sneak a few handfuls while you're finishing up this recipe. Once done, just remove to a bowl and set aside. Next up is the bread. Grab any bread you like. I'm using sourdough, but whatever bread you want to use. I'm just slicing them up. I'm going to add extra virgin olive oil on each side, and then I have a grill pan that I'm going to grill them up for some nice char marks. But toast up your bread however you like, or don't at all. You might not even want bread with this recipe. It doesn't matter because it's so good and you'll just be eating this dish up like George Costanza eating his ice cream sundae at the US Open.
Boy, I bet you that guy could cover a lot of court. Hey buddy, they got a new invention. It's called a napkin.
One of the stars of this dish is the creamy burrata, a mozzarella exterior shell with creamy strands of stracciatella cheese on the inside. Just drain from its liquid and then just set aside in a bowl. Next up, red grapes, 800 grams or 1.5 cups worth. Inspiration from this dish comes from a restaurant called Campagnolo, which isn't open here anymore in Toronto, and they served roasted grapes in burrata, and it was a big hit here in the city at the time. I'm just taking that idea and going a little bit further with it. Remove the grapes from their stems and add to a bowl. Then remove fresh thyme from their stems, again about 1 tablespoon's worth. So satisfying when they slide right off. And add that to the bowl. Then add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil and season with salt and freshly cracked pepper and set aside. Look at this bulbous vegetable. Fennel, also known, if you're in an Italian household, finocchio. Growing up, we typically ate this raw, usually after meals, and my nonno always just told me that it was just good for your digestive system. And it has a nice licorice flavor to it. It's mild, but it definitely comes through. So if you love licorice, you're gonna love this. But we're gonna roast it today, and that licorice flavor, there's gonna be notes of it in the back, but it's gonna be much sweeter and a nice mellow flavor. Remove the fennel fronds and save those for garnish, and then slice off the stalky parts, and you can use those if you like, but I'm just gonna use them to snack on, as they are a little bit more tougher and fibrous than the actual bulb. Slice the bulb in half, and you can remove the core if you like as well, and then slice it up and add to a bowl. Then add 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme and add that to the bowl. Then add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil and season with salt and freshly cracked pepper. And then mix up the fennel and mix up the grapes as well. We're roasting the grapes separately from the fennel just so we can keep an eye on them a little bit more easily. Lay down the grapes and the fennel on a sheet pan lined with parchment paper and spread everything apart, and then add the fennel and the grapes in the oven at 425 degrees for about 30 minutes depending on your oven. Give both the grapes and the fennel a shake and a flip halfway through cooking, and just before removing the fennel, let's add some Parmigiano Reggiano, a nice little snowfall, as much as you like, all over the fennel, just like we did in my butternut squash recipe, and then place it back in the oven so that it can melt and crisp up a bit. When the fennel is fork tender and browned a bit, you'll know to take them out. You'll know the grapes are done when they have shriveled up a little bit and have become a lot darker and softer. Now it's time to plate. Add the fennel and the grapes on a plate. I left a spot in the middle for the burrata, and then garnish with the toasted walnuts and some of the fennel fronds, and then a drizzle of balsamic glaze, some good quality flaky salt to finish it all off. And you know what to do. Grab the bread and bring it to the table. This is a good one. I'm happy with this one. This is a great appetizer. I would eat this whole thing as a meal. It is so good, and I hope you make it for yourself and for some guests, and I hope they like it too. And as always, the full recipe is in the description below. Please like and comment. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and until next time, ciao.